Shalom, Israel. This is the ISUPK Las Vegas Boots on the Ground series, and this is Officer Bakar, and I'm out here at the Paiute Powwow out here in Nevada, and we talking to our brothers and sisters out here, man, and trying to get some information on the state of our people and find out their opinion on what they feel, is going on and what direction we headed in. I'm here with my brother,
Michael Grant from the Omaha tribe of Macy, Nebraska.
Okay, we here with my brother from the Omaha tribe of Macy, Nebraska, and this brother right here, man. I see him. He first off, what are you wearing right now? Can you give us a little idea on the garment and the clothing and everything, as far as with everything? We kind of new to the event.
Yeah, I dance the Southern Straight style, which actually comes from our relatives of the Ponca Nation of Oklahoma.
Okay.
Poncas and Omahas were closely related, so we kind of intertwine with each other on our customs and language and beliefs, and the way we pray and the way we do our cultural backgrounds are basically the same, but as a government came and they renamed us different people, which we were actually one people at one time, but the government came in and intervened, and they moved the Poncas down to Oklahoma, which is their natural homelands is actually just north of our homelands, where my people still live at this moment, on the banks of the Missouri River. And the Poncas were actually up on the Niobrara River, which is just maybe 50 miles north of where we're located right now. So as far as government policies go, they had to, when they moved the Poncas from Nebraska, they came through and they came to our reservation right there in Macy, Nebraska. So as far as the government went, they had to have a certain amount of people when they left Nebraska and have a certain amount of people when they got to Oklahoma. So what they did was they left their elderly and their sick and some of the younger children, and Omaha's replaced them with some of our people. Ooh. So now that's why we're still tied with them like that. We still do a lot of closely things, and we have as far as relatives go, like our blood relatives are actually enrolled in the Ponca tribe, and we have Ponca tribes members that are enrolled in the Omaha tribe. So we have to have enrollment numbers, kind of just like how you would get an immigration card. We're one of the only races here in the United States that has to have 3 IDs. We got our social security number, you got your driver's license number, then you got your enrollment number. So that's basically what immigrants have to have when they come here. And that's just the way the government runs,
Okay.
So,
Do you feel like with the government's involvement in like the tribal business or tribal affairs, do you feel like they handling everything fairly and justly, or do you feel like they're taking advantage of the tribal members?
well, yeah, they tend to take advantage of a lot of the tribal members. As far as we used to have to go to write all these grants and statements and stuff to get government funding. Well, when the tribes started getting these casinos and started, didn't have to rely on them no more. Now all of a sudden the government wants to come in and start taxing us.
Oh, okay.
So we never used to pay taxes on the reservation until we started making our own money.
How long has that been going on?
That's going on about 30 years now. So we're Omaha tribe was one of the first ones to get a Indian casino in the country. And so, there's things like that happen. They weren't never there to begin with, but now all of a sudden they see tribes making all this money. So now they want their part of it. So.
And a quick question too on like the way they broke up the land and everything. Do you feel like you guys got like a, how can I say, like when it came down to the land portions and what type of land, do you feel like the government kind of cheated you guys out of like the type of land? If it was like some land that was not really, in a good area to where you can really maximize, you know what I'm saying, the profits or benefit from off the land. Do you feel like they kind of took advantage of that situation?
Yeah, they did, and then you get like all these southwestern tribes down here. Their reservations are a lot bigger than ours. Our reservation is fairly a small reservation because it's real fertile land. It's fertile,
Right.
cropland. You can plant anything
Right.
on our land. So, so they gave us a small piece, and they gave these southwestern tribes because it's desert and barren. Well, lo and behold, all of a sudden, you're starting to find natural gas and oil,
Right.
which, kind of turned around and came back to bite them in the ass because they thought they were giving them this land that was useless.
Yeah, right.
And so now it's because I work in the oil fields now, so I understand all these things are going on.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's just a way of, if they can get all the mineral rights and all that, then they'll be fine, but they have to go through the government to get all that too, so.
Okay. And my last question is, how do you feel about the treaties that was signed with the so-called Native people, you know what I'm saying, that the government, do you feel like they held up their end of the bargain? History documents that they broke almost all of the treaties. What is you guys' stance on how they, as far as going forward with doing business with the government and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of treaties that were broken and are still broken. There was some, like for example, our tribe was along the Missouri River. Well, the Corps of Engineers came and straightened the river out. Well, when they straightened it out, where the curves and stuff were in the river, where our land was, they straightened it out. Well, that cut it off. So some of our land ended up being on the Iowa side. But we went to court and we fought for that and we got it back. Because of the old maps that we had from the treaties, the treaty maps. They went off of the treaty maps.
Wow, that's interesting.
And then the Corps of Engineers came and straightened the river out, but they still had all these old maps and stuff that showed what was our land and, where our reservation borders were at. And it showed where it was cut off from the river being straightened out instead of having all the curves in it like it used to.
So back in the day, like before the government pretty much had like a big influence, you and the other tribes maybe had like your own like treaties with each other on what was your land, what was their land, like stuff like that. Y'all had it already mapped out and stuff like that?
Yeah, we've never, like Omaha's, our tribe was basically a pretty peaceful tribe. We didn't fight with other people. We did have our tendencies to have these little scuffles with the Pawnee and the Sioux, but we knew where their hunting land was. They knew where our hunting land was. So we've always, stayed. And if they did have differences, they would always meet at the border where what they call borders, but there was certain hills and certain little valleys where if they had differences, that's where they would go to fight it out. So they knew where each other was at.
And how would y'all work those differences out, just to have a little insight on some ancient history on that?
Sometimes they would just have them fight, one-on-one fighting.
Oh, wow.
And so,
that's interesting.
and then if they did have a whole group of fighting, well, see, the thing with our tribe with going into war and with battle was not to kill.
Right.
It was more honorable to be close to your enemy, to touch him, turn and leave. That was it. And the enemy would know. Well, that's what they call counting coup. If you touched your enemy, and and there was nothing he can do about it, then yeah, that was it. You wouldn't kill them, you wouldn't take their life, because again, that's not your life to take.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that how our people fought was, our people fought was ride up on each other and knock each other off the horses and get up and touch them and then leave.
That seems like an honorable solution. Honestly, that would in my opinion, represent a little brotherhood where you see nowadays, today, people, especially in our community, in the black and the Hispanic communities, people, tend to go for blood. They want to kill, if they can't work their differences out by, if it's just a simple, battle or whatever, where you let them know, like, you're strong, you're not weak without killing. Nowadays you see, black on black crime or brown on brown crime that's really hurting us, as a people too. I appreciate your time, brother. Once again, man, thank you for giving us this interview. We the ISUPK Las Vegas, and we out here putting our boots on the ground, talking to our people. We try to make every powwow or event that we can to just get a little insight, a little history, you know what I'm saying, on what our people have been through and what they're going through in America. And I appreciate your time, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Shalom.